Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Let's remove this here. Good morning. So CDN, good morning, Steve. I'm seeking an hour detention for a late arrival. That is well deserved. So all week, here's the thing. So there's a meme where, Picard's sitting there in his throne at the captain's chair on the Enterprise, and he goes, need a status report, morning status report. And so every day I'm asking my wife, okay, what do we got coming up? Because when you got teenagers and high school graduation and other events coming up, we've got a few shows we're going to. So every day I'm like, what are we doing? So all week we've been talking about doing this thing on Friday morning. So I've been telling the drivers I deal with, I've been telling friends, look, Friday morning I'm going to be unavailable. There won't be a live feed. And then this morning it turned into a big nothing burger. So here I am an hour late. It wasn't until 8:00 that we discovered that this event that we were going to go to this morning wasn't happening. So it's happening. We just aren't going to be there. So anyways, we're here now. So that's a benefit for you if you consider this live stream a benefit. Now, as you can hear my other phone going off, the 8:00 is a very competitive spot. Fate Trucking was just live. And he ended it and then made it private. So he must have said something really controversial. So anyways, and Fate Trucking just became a new member. Very nice. Thank you very much. And then $20. So we got this going on. So evidently I'm Fate's best friend all of a sudden. So, but anyways, good morning. I hope all is well. I want to ask a question about how everybody did this week, because it's interesting. I was touching up on FreightWaves' YouTube, and they were talking about how freight has declined yet again, but everybody says that they saw this bump up, including myself. So I'm curious to see let's throw all the analytics and let's throw all the FreightWaves aside. What did you guys see? Did you guys see better rates this week? Those of you in the spot market? Was it a little bit easier when you talked to the brokers this week? Did you get the money that you were looking for? I want to know from you guys. So I'm just curious, because I want to know, right? And then yesterday I had a moment of weakness. I got emotional over someone's post, and I wrote this big, huge, long reply, and then had a 2-hour conversation with Sterling about it, and then I ended up removing it anyways. So, Mr. Wilson, you can talk to me if you want, right? So, but see, apparently if I'm an hour late, everybody's giving me crap for being an hour late, I get money. So I'm going to be 2 hours late, and I expect more money tomorrow. So I'm trying to arrange a time that Carnivore Trucker and I are gonna hang out, do an interview with them. I haven't nailed that down yet. I know he and I were texting back and forth yesterday about sliding tandem. So we'll see what his weekend looks like, because I don't want to sit there and if he's driving all night or something like that, I don't want to bother him. So, but anyways, let's go over the comments, and then we'll look at some low board stuff. David Edwards, good morning. You were the first one in here. Desert Okie Pam, good morning. Hope you're doing well. It's almost about time for your homeland to get really hot and unbearable. Red Top Rich, good morning. CB, peace. What's up? David Edwards says, well, evening. Jerome Jones, good morning. CDN, giving me hell. I'm seeking an hour detention pay for late arrival. Well, you almost got layover pay, because I almost didn't go live this morning. LOL. See, Russell Freight Services, LLC. Hey, everyone. Been busy fixing my truck. Finally got it 100% fixed. Well, that, Russell, I'm not sure if I believe that, because I don't think a truck is any truck even brand new with the paint still drying off the showroom floor. I don't think they're 100% fixed. So Shannon says good morning from Bozeman, Montana. I have not heard from Shannon for a while, so I'm assuming that things are going okay. And I bet you're loving the scenery up there. Again, Montana was one of my best trips ever. Here, you know what? This is how much I believe in my Montana trip. Let's do this here. I'm gonna put a link up to that video, and you guys can watch it later. By the way, who would have thought that a random 2-minute video of darkness with birds tweeting in the background would have gotten so many views on the other channel? Let's see if we can find this. Let's see videos. It just shows you how random everything is, and that's what this OG channel. I mean, look at this crap, right? Look at this crap. Share screen. Look how random this is. Oh, better not show that. Look here's one of our music videos from Apnea. Check that out. Another one here. Let's see. Here's another music video I did. And here's a close call. Like I was doing the dash cam stuff before it was all cool and trendy. Here's me showing trainees how to back. So there's that compilation. Yes, I used to drive a Kenworth T660. Here's another one where look how much pull-up room I had on that one. And then some apnea stuff. There's me and the wife live. Here's the Montana trucking one. So let's share. Copy. All right. Copy. There you go. Then here's an apnea live. Very fuzzy, horrible camera work. Here's me on the ice roads. Yes, you heard that right. I was on the ice roads. And if you like death metal, here's my favorite video: backing in New Orleans. That one's a winner right there. That one shows you that I at one time had skills. I probably couldn't back between two Twinkies if I wanted to. Here's I recorded Vader. They're a great band. Going Home for Thanksgiving, another music compilation I did with a camera. And then here's my electronic logbook system. 13 years ago, it's got 69,000 views. And then I changed the thumbnails on a few of these. There's me playing guitar, which was dumb. The Beaten Path, that's another one, to some apnea music. Caving in a truck. I mean, come on, man. Snorelord OG, you got to check it out. So, anyway, do what Shannon says and hit the like button. All right, you're late. Your pay will be docked accordingly. Well deserved. This tour life, Jason, what's up? Thought fate was napping. Well, he lied to you, Adam. He lied. So $800 from Kansas City to Fulton on Wednesday. They've been listing that low for $500 to $475 for months. Yeah, I noticed. Okay, so back to the original question. I noticed there was an uptick in Uber rates. I was like, well, huh. Especially the last minute stuff. Loads that were $800 for Tuesday pickup, the same exact load was going for $1,200 on Monday's pickup because it was a time crunch. You had some leverage. And so a lot of these click and goes, if they're waiting to the last minute to before they bring up the money, then they're not covering them. And boom, there you go. So I believe that's happening a little bit. But my original question, if you just got in the chat, is did anybody else see a bump up in rates and or volumes? So Cool Trucking, good morning. Steve and crew. Cascade says not better. I was kidding. Portable Mike for the interview. No, he will. It will be a StreamYard thing. CDN. He is not coming through Springfield. So, still waiting for my shipper to open. Ugh. Yeah, that's a bad deal, man. You would think that these shippers that do nothing but load trucks all day would load a truck properly, right? They were trying to pull one on you. The fact that they told you a complete lie is or no, there was another driver. So Carnivore Trucker and I were talking yesterday, chatting, and he said that a driver told him something that was completely false, and it could have cost him a lot of money. So know your regulations, know the rules, because if he had gone out with that driver's advice, it could have cost him between $200 to $500. So, in fines. So definitely, Google can be your best friend sometimes. Love it. What do you love, Shannon? The channel, or just me being late? I've been able to run without going back. Oh, Montana, probably. Okay, duh. I'm kind of dense. I talk too much and I'm dense. I'm trying to fix that. Nope, that was just a podcast notification. I've been able to run without going back in the shop. Finally, to get run loads, I was going in the shop, then coming out, then having to go back in. Now I'm able to run. Good deal, man. It's always tough when you can't get any. You get some momentum, the truck's like and then you're like every time. I was in a pattern like that one year where every time I had to get home because the truck needed to be in the shop, and it wasn't like anything urgent. It was just something that had to be fixed before I ran again. So I'm so dumb I can't find the grease fitting on my new clutch. Going by the shop for them to show me. There you go. I changed the oil on my daughter's 2010 Mazda 3 with 229,000 kilometers, which equals 142,000 some odd miles. No rust, interior perfect condition. I told start paying herself $300 a month so she funds for a future car. Good idea. Good idea. PRTV says I'm late. I know. And I get super chats when I'm late. Pale Rider, that's how it goes. T-Bone, good morning. SST, what's up? Everybody's saying hi to each other. My name is Nobody. Good morning. Hopefully you'll get some resolution today. Hope you're doing all right. Love Montana. Okay, good. Yep. Now, Shannon, I'm going to say something. I would probably avoid Montana in January. So, just putting that out there. So don't accidentally book yourself to Montana in January. And don't accidentally book yourself to New York City. Be all right. Rome Land Services. Hey, good morning. Good morning. You got a dog in the avatar. That's pretty cool. So, all right. So enough about me. Enough about Montana. Let's go look at a low board. Anyways, I want to see if anybody else. DIY says I would avoid Montana all year. There can be a strategy on making some money coming in and out of Montana. I talked to a driver that was doing that, and it actually worked well for him. Jason, my truck broke down. Stuck at a hotel. That sucks, man. It's going around though. I know a guy's dealing with a new turbo right now. I'd also avoid New York all year. that I can get behind. So the load that I did in Montana was an 8-stop load. Shit. There we go. Was this not working? So that's weird. Check. Has that changed any? Were you guys hearing me at all? Obviously, if you're conversing with me, that's weird. Huh. All right. I couldn't hear myself. So, all righty. Wonder if this microphone's got a glitch. Um, Mr. Charles, good morning. Deeper now. Okay. So, evidently maybe there's a short or something in the button here. All right. I'm deeper now. So, anyways, shrink that up. So back to our original question, did you guys see a bump up in rates? And if so, where were you running? And where did you see the best volumes? Deeper now. I got me an okay load here and a good load from here to Ohio. There you go. It got a little louder. Okay. Man, that's weird. Yeah, I might have a short in this microphone. At first I thought it was the cord, but it might be the switch. So, because all of a sudden I can hear myself really well. I was struggling. So, Michigan, you're running in Michigan? Yeah, so let's do this here real quick. Let's whoops. I want to show you guys something. Let's put the 1, 2, 3 low board up here. Oh man. All right, there's the so let's let the unloading begin. Good morning again. Yeah, so Matt, that school thing did not happen. So that's so here I am, right? Don says I could have done better on the spot, but I don't want to lose this dedicated run. Yeah, that's smart. Florida's been booming, but fixing to fizzle out fast. Yeah, that's the thing with watermelons, man. It just flowers, watermelons, and trees, man. It's just gonna stop. Next thing you know, you end up there and you're like, what the hell just happened? Yeah, I'm currently getting unloaded now, says Shannon. Good deal. I had to go to the shop this week as well. 1 day hotel stay, def bump. Ugh. Well, at least they had one for you, right? At least it was only 1 day, not like last year when if you had a def pump go out, especially in a PACCAR, you were SOL. So, anyways, let's take a look at Van here just for poops and giggles. All right, so now it's showing green on Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, but like you look at Florida, the numbers are pretty similar, right? Mississippi apparently is taking a dump on the 1, 2, 3, but Phoenix, Arizona's awake a little bit. Same thing with Nevada. Nevada's usually red, but let's take a look at Indiana here. Let's sort this by rate per mile. No, let's sort it by actual rate. Here we go. See where the big money is. Orleans, Indiana to Kent, Washington, 5,700. Wow, let's click on that one. I haven't seen a rate like that long for a while. Multi-stop, so that's why. So that's fine. That's good money. Depending 18,000 pounds. So that's pretty good. 244 a mile for van. Depending on the stops and the time on the load, then that might be something good. But then look at Washington coming out. Not bad numbers coming out of Washington. Now remember, this is 1, 2, 3's load. right? Load board. The data is going to be a little bit different. DAT is showing Illinois and Michigan and Ohio being upside down as far as in and out revenue. See, here's another one. Frankfurt, Indiana, Portland, Oregon, 3,300. See, that's the normal rate that I'm seeing going out there. So, we got it like, we got this Lawrenceburg to Fort Collins, 220 a mile. So, PRTV says, did anyone hear about the slow roll protest around Indianapolis the other day? Well, depending on the time of day, there's always a slow roll protest. No, I did not hear about that. I did not hear about that. That's the thing. It's like, unless you're shutting down the highway, which is against the law, um, having like 100 trucks on the loop there is not going to really, like, it won't get anybody's attention because it's like that every week. T-Bone was part of the protest. He got caught in it. Miss Charles, my ECU for the ABS went out. Should know a timeline for the ECU today. Wow. That's a brand new truck too, isn't it, Jason? Hey, chat, would it ever be beneficial to preemptively replace the turbo, or is there a way for a shop to inspect it? Would prefer to replace it before it blows. No issues yet. 610,000 miles. Well, Don, you are due. I've heard of people preemptively changing the turbo. Usually that's a high-priced item, so a lot of people avoid that because the only problem I see with replacing the turbo is, let's say you've got 15 grand in your maintenance account and you decide to change out the turbo because you think it's time. And then your one box goes out. Now you don't have the money to fix the one box, which I think is going for 17 now, by the way. I heard that from somebody yesterday. But DIY says you can inspect a turbo. So it just depends on how your maintenance account. Now, what it will improve if you do change it preemptively. Like if they inspect it and you know it's going bad, yes, change it by all means. But versus having it stranding somewhere. But that's the advantage of preemptively changing it out is you're not worried about the tow bill, you're not worried about the hotel, you're not worried about the shop reaming you because you're 800 miles from at a shop that you don't know. And that happened to me. I wasn't quite 800 miles, but my turbo went out in Gary, Indiana, and I ended up taking my truck. I tried to take it home. I was bobtailing all the way home because I was at Schneider, so I didn't have a trailer. And I ended up getting to St. Louis, Troy, Illinois, and I had it changed out there. And it took about 4 or 5 days at the hotel. I did avoid a tow, but I could have really damaged the truck as well. So I didn't want to push it. I could tell that it may not make it to Springfield, especially with all the hills. Like from Indiana to Troy, it's pretty much flat, but from once you get around St. Robert, Missouri, and all that, it's all hilly, and I didn't want to risk it. So I've been running tomatoes out of Dallas, and then deadhead down to Laredo and picking up mixed produce load right back to Florida. That's Chris. I hope that's making money. That's a good gig. And then the empty miles. Hopefully there's some compensation for the empty miles to Laredo. Let's see. Jason, did you make it to Iowa before breakdown? Yes, he did. But yeah, DIY says you can inspect the turbo. Jason needs the new Pete 589. I'm sure he'll tell his company all about it. I have a shop check it. I have IXS, no one box, but I see your point. Right. I forgot that you got a rare Freightliner. Tow bill was the biggest concern I was trying to avoid. Yeah, and that adds up pretty dang quickly, right? You know, pretty quickly. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Um, like when it comes to maintenance costs. So so even if something goes out on the truck and it's under warranty, does that cover towing as well? And you can have a tow bill go anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000, depending on how far you're getting the towed or what conditions the tow is in. So, I mean, those tow trucks are like half a million a piece, so they got to pay for them. So towing's expensive, and then some states like Arkansas or Ohio, you're not allowed to tow a truck and trailer combination. So they have to send two vehicles out, one for the truck, one for the trailer. That gets pretty pricey as well. So a $5,000 turbo repair can turn into 15 grand pretty quickly. So Mr. Wilson says, anyone using 465 in Indy, the speed limit is 45 in Indianapolis. It's automatically a reckless driving charge if caught speeding. I was always that guy in the lane that I needed to be in doing 45 and watching everybody slam on the brakes when they come upon that cop that's right before you get to 65. It's funny to watch. You can check the bearing play and look at the blades on either side. There you go. Getting 8K for the round trip. Nice. Excellent. Very good. Man, I spent on my truck 4 battery, 1 windshield, two steers. They had 310,000 miles on them. Wow. Diesel is still $2.99 at Sheetz in Jefferson, Ohio. There you go. I believe their DEF is pretty cheap too, isn't it? I always recommend the mom and pops for the DEF fluid because they tend to not, they're not like, I think some DEF prices are approaching $5 a gallon now. So, but anyways, this is Van. This is Hot Market Map. So, let's take a look at Missouri. Good old Mo. See if I wanted to run a load today. Obviously not. My kid graduates tomorrow, so I'm not missing that. Sort by rate per mile. See what my short haul's doing. Kansas City to Emporia, Kansas. It's only 100 miles. 586. Keller's got a few of those. Kansas City to Denver, 350 a mile, 2100. Wow. Let's take a look at them. Let's take a look at this one. Doesn't say anything about stops. 25,000 pounds. Picks up Tuesday, delivers Tuesday. So evidently there's some miscommunication there. Unless it picks up at 5 a.m. and delivers at 11 p.m., but then you're beyond your 14, right? So that might be why there's some money on it. Let's see. Webb City to Olathe. That's Joplin area. 500. This load used to pay about 750. 850 in the good times, about 600 during regular times. I know what that is. Fox Logistics. Let's take a look at one of these. Curious to see if they're Thunder approved. Picks up at 1 o'clock on Monday, delivers 6 a.m. the next morning. Now Lenexa, that's possible. That's going to be a Coke to Coke load, is what that is. Yep, Tropical Punch. Yep. Now it'd be nice if you can get a Coke load out of Lenexa, but $500 for the day, $593 is the freight bill. So a lot of Coke stuff is contract, even to the brokers. So they usually there's no room to budge on these. 124 loads, Lenexa anywhere. So, yep, they are pre-approved. I think Jeff and I were asking that question the other day. Let's see, Sykeston, Evansville, Indiana, for the same exact price for 500 some odd miles. So you can either do 100 some odd miles for $500, or for an extra $50, you can do an extra 71 miles. That surge, they're always like that. Again, that's Sykeston. That's going to be Sykeston's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's in the Boot Heel of Missouri. Not much coming out of there. There's a beverage place out of there. The place that makes all like the Sam's Cola, that kind of stuff, that's over there in Sykeston. That's probably what that is. Republic to San Marcos, Texas, Worldwide Express. Not sure what's coming out of Republic. That might be organics. Oh, I know what this is. Yes, I know exactly what this is. That's going to be Red Monkey Foods. San Marcos, that's going to be probably HEB down there, a food distributor. So, not the best place to deliver, and they have outrageous lumper fees. It's like, gee, Steve, how do you know all this stuff? Well, I've been around a minute. Kansas City Ardmore, that's going to be Dollar General. 44,000. Who knows what the product? Oh, LDP film. LDPE film. So that might be a generic weight. Problem with Ardmore is you're going to have to tap in the Oklahoma City market or the Dallas market to get out of there. Unless you can get something out of, there's like one warehouse that might ship in Ardmore that I've noticed, that I know about. That might be Dot Foods as well. It may not be just every now and then they'll deliver something to Goodyear, but it's an offsite warehouse, so it's not a big deal. So, anyways, that's Missouri for van. Let's take a look at Florida, since Florida's been on fire here lately. Let's do the highest rate here. Let's see if we can find out what's making the most money here. All right, $2.90 a mile to come out of Quincy, Florida, going to Clark, New Jersey. Let's take a look at that one. I'm going to guess this is probably multiple stop. They're at $2.90 a mile, 42,000 pounds. Doesn't say what the product is. Who's the broker on this? J&A Freight Systems. Let's take a look at their credit here. 98A. So Thunder thinks they're all right. And then your lower stuff, but high rate per mile, is going to Virginia, Mississippi. Like this one wouldn't be too bad. Oh boy. Gotta love news headlines. Maybe I shouldn't put the news on that. Van Vented. So this is gonna be probably watermelons or flowers. Could be floral too, but it's showing 42,000. 1,400 to go to Mount Olive, Mississippi, which is gonna put you probably in the Memphis market or the Jackson market. So let's see what Mississippi was red on our map, but it was like 29 to 34 loads coming out of there. So Let's see. Here's another high paying one, $26.50 to go to New York, Southampton. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah. Good old New York City. You deliver in the Hamptons. Bale Pine Straw. That is an absolute NO with a capital N. Unless I live there. Here's Lakeland, the Bronx. You go to Bronx for $2.27 a mile. All right, let me go back to the comments here. You guys have been commenting like crazy. $2.50 on DEF, good deal at Sheets there, and those work zones are when the slower trucks pass you because it's the only place they can do it. Low board broker games, hot shot load, one pick, three drops in Washington. One broker posted at 750, another at 1050. Guess which one I called, right? Mr. Wilson says, T-Bone, there are truckers finding out the hard way in the construction zones here. One ticket ruins their trucking career. I don't know about that. I talked to somebody that was training a driver that had two accidents, like a rollovers. But yeah, if they're charging with reckless driving, that could be a different story. So SST, depending on what year and make model of engine, determines if changing their turbo will be expensive or not. A 12.7 Detroit is less than $1,000 for an aftermarket turbo. That's good to know. Simple yes on drivers. Find out the hard way was every day in Indy, right? Unilever and Sykeston also. Oh, okay. That's good to know. I think I've delivered. There's a warehouse I delivered there in Sykeston. Quincy is North Florida too. Yeah, that's a good rate. I think the rates are going to level out now because there's been enough carriers close out their authority. We shall see. We shall see. All right, Matt. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Empty. Good deal. All right, so let's take a look at reefer here, shall we? All right. Now we'll do the same thing. Well, let's look at Florida. Let's see what's coming out of Florida in the good old reefer world. Okay, rate per mile. We got 368 a mile, 4,500 to go to Monroe, New Jersey. Is that Monroe or Monroe Township? Those are two opposite sides. That's where having the zip code would be helpful. 30,000 pounds. Man, that's picking up today at 11. So it's got like less than an hour to go before it needs picked up. It delivers Monday morning at 7 a.m. If you're willing to stay in Jersey, this might be a good load. Salsa, America's #1 condiment. It's probably that fresh style since it's got to be on a reefer. All right, so we got Albany, New York, Orlando, Jacksonville, Hickory, North Carolina. So not too deep into Florida. North Carolina is not too bad right now. Yes, I have a pet crow, so get over it. 412 miles. Grocery products. So it depends on who that receiver is there in Hickory. Picks up today or tonight at 6:30 and delivers at 11 a.m. on Monday. Kind of a late start on the day, but if you live in North Carolina, that might be a good one. Let's see, Laurel, Maryland. So a lot of the money's going up to the Northeast, which is good news. Good news for me. Haha. So these aren't bad rates coming out. 311 to come out of Florida, $3,000 to go to Laurel, Maryland. Meanwhile, let's do this. Let's look at Wisconsin. Let's find something going northeast. Here we go. Franksville, Wisconsin to Williamsport, Maryland. They're at $296 a mile. 2,100. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, they've got some money on this one too. Frozen assets. I've never heard that. Frozen assets. What do you haul for a living? I haul frozen assets. $2.96 a gallon for DEF at Westlands truck stop. Exit 148 I-70. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the mom and pop next to the Petro there. Cool Trucking just called my shop. He said, based on my truck's configuration, I should get a warning light before it would blow and be able to limp it in. He said he could do a general inspection. No guarantees, though. By the time you get a warning, it's too late. That's true. That is true. Because I know somebody's getting the turbo changed out right now. There was never a warning light. He just knew. Here we go. Pleasant Prairie to Vermont. My internet is being slow. There we go. 2,600. So they got some money on these. Frozen food. Now, Vermont is not going to have much coming out. In fact, let's scroll down here. Yeah, 9, 4, and 4. So, yeah, you're deadheading a little bit to come out. You go Stevens Point to Cheyenne. We've got 273 mile on this. Kept at -1. Arrive appointment at 4 p.m. Can check in an hour early. Can't be late. Can check in. Yeah, so. So, yeah, it looks like not too bad. Let's take a look at, speaking of New York, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania for a minute. Oh, here's a low paying $14.12 a mile. So you book this load and you get on Facebook and you go, man, I made $14 a mile. I don't know what you guys are bitching about. I bet you it's multiple stop. 1,200. They're at 1,200 to do 85 miles. Picks up Monday in Scranton, goes to Chester, New York. So, good little short run. Let's see, Buffalo, here's Scranton to Buffalo. Oh, it's probably the same load. No, it's 252. Let's go up there. Oh, 2 extra stops. So it's 1,400 on that. So you'd have to do the math on mileage and then whether it's worth it or not for each stop. York, PA to Monroe Township. That's probably going to be Costco. $600. High has been $869. Cargo Chiefs at $794. Now, mind you, the blitz is, I think, over, just about over, although some states are still going to hit it hard. And so there might be no leverage today because a lot of carriers that stayed specifically home for the 3 days might be trying to get out for the weekend. So a little bit more yellow coming through here. Tolga, what's up? Dutch, 10-second warning light. Yeah, pretty much. He said mine is a variable, and that usually causes the issues before the turbo. I'm not familiar with this stuff as much as relying on them in all your in all you insights. I had a Cummins, and when it seemed like the turbo actuator went out first, and then they replaced the turbo, but I don't know if it was misdiagnosed. I was told that one causes the other, so it's better to change them both out. Like you don't want to put a brand new expensive turbo on an older turbo actuator. I could be wrong. I'm not a mechanic. DIY might be cursing me right now. He knows more about that than I do. But I'll let you know when it comes apart, right? Yeah. So anyways, that's reefer. Let's look at flatbed. Let's look at flatbed and step deck. Take out reefer. Apply. So that's exactly what my mechanic said as well. Okay, there you go. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I do know every now and then what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking out of my booty. A lot of times I am, just forewarned. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just letting you guys know. Look at Oregon. Let's take a look at what's coming in and out of Oregon. Lakeview to California, California. So a lot of these better rates are going to be California, right? And I still got it sorted on rate. Oh wait, yeah, rate per mile. So let's do overall rate. That's where you're going to see the lower rate per mile, like 6,200 to go from McMinnville, Oregon to Pompano Beach, Florida. $1.90 a mile. Those look like man rates. This is Oregon to Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Flatbed lumber tarps, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on shipper and receiver, 47 and change. Yeah, hold on a second. I might take this. Glad I took that. That was good news. Good news. Look, a master at work. Now that phone call's actually cost me about $7,000. That's what that phone call was. So if the wife's watching, she'll know what I'm talking about. So let's look at the inbound. Let's see where all the loads going into Oregon are coming from. PA, a lot of PA. Some Texas, Minnesota, Meridian, Mississippi. That's the other thing. And like, let's say you live in Oregon and you just want to check it out, what's going on inside the state. You can take a look at these runs right here. Not many. There's only 4. But so anyways, there's a lot of things you can do. And here's the thing. It's difficult to do all this while driving. And I'm going to put a PSA out. Okay. So, all right. I don't see it too much in my chats. Well, Mrs. A, the work that we are hiring out is going to start to occur. They're picking up the materials today. So that's kind of good news. So was it good news or did it cost 7K? I got her freaked out. So Tolga's laughing at the situation. So anyways, I'm gonna put out a PSA, right? So there are many truck drivers who are listening to YouTube going down the road. Now, if you have YouTube Premium, the screen can be blacked out. However, if you have an accident and it's an injury or fatality or high property amount, they are going to get the phone records and they are going to see that YouTube was in play as you're going down the road. Now, so there's that risk, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do, what not to do, unless you're at my carrier. Now, a lot of us drivers love to interject their opinions in the chat. Some will do it while driving. Another risk, that is illegal. That is texting and driving. Now, nobody knows that you're doing that unless you announce that you're doing that. So if you get there and you go, I'm listening, but driving, there's no need to say that. There's literally no reason for you to get on a public forum and say, I'm texting and driving. Okay? All right. This is my PSA. In fact, we're gonna get rid of this low board just to kind of cement this in, right? Now, there are people that might be driving and want to show that they are in the chat. There's nothing wrong with saying things that don't implicate you. In other words, you could go good morning or good afternoon or hi, letting them know that you're in the chat without announcing to the whole world that you're driving. I still don't recommend texting while driving. Is it nice for us sitting in our nice comfy chairs watching the chat go? Yes. Is it nice to see the numbers? Yes. Okay? And it's especially bad to do that and announce that you're texting and driving when you work at a carrier that everybody knows about. For example, Schneider, they have this huge, you can't be doing it. They have training videos where they show you to turn your CB radio off. Now, that's a little ridiculous, but that's how strict they are on the cell phone use. If you're caught driving around Indy at 45 miles an hour because you're behaving in the construction zone, but you got your cell phone headset on, and one of the office people see you, they will bring you in. I've seen it. Hell, there's a guy that drives around a silver pickup that tattletales on the Snyder drivers. I don't know what's up his butt, but that's what he does. I've seen it. That guy tried to bust me, but I wasn't on the phone. So there's no reason to announce that you're texting and driving at the same time. There you go. There absolutely no reason. So the other thing is I don't recommend live streaming while driving. Unless you have a spouse or a trainee or a dog that can hold the phone and can cover the comments. I don't know how a dog's going to be able to read the comments for you, but you know, I've heard of stranger things. So Now, I don't care how coordinated you are. I don't care how good of a driver you are. The fact is, doing a live stream going down the road is one of the worst ideas you could possibly do. Because you're going to have to prove in a court of law that it took one motion to do that on your phone, even if you start with the truck parked. And you could be in complete control of the vehicle, but some car decides that he likes that space more than you do. And those of you who watch these dash cam channels know that that can happen at any moment, and you get wiped out. Now, it's not your fault, right? That car hits you. But let's say that car driver wants to blame you. So you get your dash cam out. You're like, hey, man, this car cut me off. Right? It's his fault. Okay, but we're going to need to subpoena the truck, the trailer, or not subpoena, but warrant to look at the truck, the trailer, your cell phone records. Because here's the thing. I know a carrier who the person was driving and a piece of road debris cut the airlines on the trailer, and it took them everything they could to get that trailer pulled over. As she was putting out the triangles, this car, who wasn't paying attention, nailed the back of that trailer so hard, killed the car driver. The truck driver had to duck underneath the trailer, got glass all over her hair. She was hurt a little bit. That's how fast that car was going. That trailer sat in that truck's yard for over a year and a half, constantly being inspected by lawyers because the family of the car driver was suing the trucking company, even though there was nothing that driver could do because the airlines were severed. It was either get on the shoulder or be in the middle of the road. Lawsuits abounded. Now, the trucking company won, but guess what? You know how many lawyer hours that took to win that case? And they went over that trailer with a fine-tooth comb, right? So there you go. So I don't recommend it. Well, this is all I have to say for now. I know you're probably going to call. No, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying in general. So, and yeah, there's a lot of you're not, there's a lot of YouTubers that have done live streaming. So I'm not calling anybody out. I just want to make it very clear because I'll tell you what, if any members of my family get hurt or killed because of a distracted driver, whether it be car or truck, there's it's not going to be a great day for that person. And that's something that we all have to think about when we're doing these things going down the road. There's a video of a cop pulling over a truck because he was all over the road, and when he opened how like they'll open the passenger door to get in so they can protect themselves from the traffic. The guy was watching Netflix right on, and he's like, the cop's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I was just watching TV." He's like, "Oh, you can't do that." So just putting that out there. Yep. See, I know you'd agree with me, Mrs. A. Okay, I laughed. Oh, I laughed when I said that phone call actually cost me $7 because I know how it feels, right? Soapbox, yeah. Good morning, drivers. I'm not texting and driving, but New Mexico sucks. There you go. Good news. I'm sitting at a pilot, still waiting for my shipper to open, not driving. There you go. My dispatcher watches my channel. No way I'd live stream while driving. That's the other thing. A lot of these bigger carriers, they have a social media team that monitors everything. Like if you show the low board at Schneider, man, they get on to you about that. No, it's not a long live. I start at 8 o'clock. So I guess it has been an hour. 8:30. I started 8:30. Damn, Snorelord, you safety people take all the fun out of texting and driving. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just doing it in general. But to be honest, this is what I was told from a long-term driver that drives for Walmart. He was at Matt. I don't even know what you're saying. Even if the driver is a reasonable human being, his insurance company is not. There it is. There you go. Right? There it is. Insurance companies don't care about your driving skills. In fact, they want you to think that you're hot shit, right? Schneider is a little crazy with their safety, but at the same time, they have everyone doing overweight loads to satisfy their Home Depot account. Well, you control the trailer, you control the freight, right? You control the rules. The rules they have in place with the driver-facing cameras: you're not allowed to eat, you're not allowed to drink, and you're not allowed to touch the radio. You're not allowed to use the phone. Oh, Walmart, yeah. Yep, Amazon. I watched this thing. Those Amazon van drivers, they have these sensors that know when you take one hand off the steering wheel. They have this like point rating system with the end. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's. But here's the thing: you can sit there and say a person can sit there and say that's overkill, but guess what? You see all the stupid stuff. I mean, there's video of a guy texting on the phone driving a bus, and he has a huge wreck. Like no one on the bus was like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?" Right? And so that's why you have carriers that are doing this now, where they don't want you to. They want you like right there, 10-2, all the time. Now, would I ever work for a company like that? Probably not. But it's going to get to the point where you can't avoid that. Anything you do must be done while you're parked on the side of the road, and if you're there for more than 10 minutes, you have to put out your four ways out. Yep, your triangles out. Utah Trucker, what's up? Also, from what I'm being told now, is lawyers are starting to request footage from shippers when you say you're in the sleeper berth the whole time. Well, there you are getting paperwork. That's a little bit overkill. Like I don't. But a lawyer can get whatever he wants, right? Smooth trucking, Steve-O, what's up? I think he's making the car for 2 phones. Case. Or just a know-it-all. What's that mean? If it's come to that because of the hiring practices and the stupidity that's in place with training, then I guess self-driving trucks should take over, but the lawyers will still find a way. Yeah, I mean, that's what lawyers do, right? Okay, I see. I see what Smooth Truck was saying. All right. So, anyways, I thought that I would put that PSA out because, you know, there's a lot of people joining StreamYards that are driving as well, and that's probably not a good idea. So, anyways, safety first, right? Yeah, I ruined the fun. How dare I do that? But if it was your family that was killed by somebody that was playing around on Netflix or YouTube while driving, you would probably be upset. So anyways, guys, 48065 on the 123 low board. If you wish to check it out, 30 days free. And let's see if I can do this right. I don't know how to use StreamYard. I will be doing an interview soon with the Carnivore Trucker. I'll probably give him a call today. And then I think we're going to be on his channel as well. Guys, let's be safe out there. I hope you guys had a good week. I saw a slight bump up in rates And the only thing that kind of hurt everybody this week was the truck working. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. What a what a buzzkill DIY. Well, I took my drive test to pick up my truck in Charlotte. The tester doc told me for taking one hand off the wheel to shift. I told him he didn't want me to shift with my elbow. Safety first for sure in all facets of life. Yeah. Lawyers can be evil and tactful, right? There was a controversy with another YouTuber who got on YouTube and announced that he was on the phone with his headset, mind you, and a car hit him in this construction zone, and did not understand that a lawyer can still get him for distracted driving. Well, you might sit there and say, well, talking on your Bluetooth is no different than talking to someone in the cab of your truck, right? And I believe that, right? I talk on my Bluetooth headset all the time when I'm driving. That's how we pass the time. All you people on Zello, that's how you guys pass the time, right? And but a lawyer can still go in and say, yes, he is within regulation, but since he was talking at the time that this happened and it injured my client, then now they might do a suit, the judge might throw it out, but that's still time away from what you need to be doing. That still costs money in lawyer fees. What are you going to do? Countersue and get your lawyer fees? So that's what I'm talking about. Everybody talks on the phone, on their headset, going down the road. Everybody does that. Schneider knew that. They just didn't want to see it. Because what they did is they made you sign a thing on your contract saying that you will not do that. So if something happened and you were, they're out. They're like, sucks to be you, man. You're on your own. But the lawyer's still going to go after Schneider. So they try to enforce it. And the last few road trips I've taken, even though I'm not in the truck, I'm seeing a lot of truck drivers, at night with their big iPads going. I can literally see what they're watching. And I can't tell you how many times someone was veering into my lane. You guys I've had that in the truck. I'm sitting there in the truck. I'm like, man, I must got a magnet on the left side of this truck because everybody keeps coming over in my lane. So you have to be aware. And you could be the best driver in the world. Doesn't mean the person in front of you, beside you are. Those are the people that will take you out. If you watch a channel like Bonehead Truckers, there's a lot of these accidents that are preventable that don't look like it would be preventable. It's literally the car driver's fault. There's a difference between at fault and preventable. Like there's a classic one where there's a black Peterbilt 387, and this car came over, and the truck was on the phone. He was on the phone. You can hear him talking. And he would not give this car. The car obviously was going to come over, whether that truck was going to let him or not. And so he should have backed it down and let the car go. Was it right for the car to do that? No. Was the car at fault when he smacked into the truck? Yes. But the trucking company is going to look at that as a preventable because he could have backed it down. He should have seen the situation was not going to get better. And that's the difference. A lot of people don't know the difference between preventable and at fault. All right, Toga, peace out. I'm learning a lot while working with one on my own stuff. There you go. Got the guys can't drive out here without anything in their face, let alone a camera, right? Okay, so even the more reason to not add to the ignorance, right? If safety is number one priority, I'll just stay home and get in my closet and just stay there where it's safe. It's not even safe in the closet. Look at somebody driving their W9 around with God knows how many subscribers they have. It's definitely not putting a good example out there. There's a lot of people doing that. I'm not calling anybody out specific. DIY says you could put your carrier out of business because you had to flap your gums live on YouTube. Cost hundreds of drivers their jobs. There you go. Kind of selfish. I literally watch a driver who trains. Yeah, Shannon, it blows my mind when a trainer goes live while training, right? Or technically, he been put the guy that owns the carrier behind bars. So let's just say very financially in the negative for years to come because lawyers will go after anything. Now judgment shows. Snorelord, you are right. Though to be honest, though, it's almost gotten to the point that if anything happens, you better have video evidence of you staring out the window like a zombie. There you go. I mean, you have states that will give you a ticket if they see you putting a cup to your mouth, coffee and everything, right? I think Maryland's like that. And in Georgia, they see you with your phone in your hand, and you go, "Well, I was just putting Spotify on." They're like, "We don't care. Your phone was in your hand, even if you're not doing anything with it. Even if you're doing this whole speakerphone, thing where you just like, yeah, I'm not on the phone, like that. That alone is a ticket in Georgia. What? Why even mess with it? It's not even worth arguing over." I literally watched a YouTube driver trainer with his trainee in passenger seat. He was driving and doing a video on PC because used 70% of the time he's looking into a camera. Yeah, and video evidence of a car doing something extremely wrong, and even then the court might just award them because you're the big bad truck company. Right. So if you can get in trouble for just doing your job, why would you want to live stream going down the road? That's kind of like, well, we're screwed anyways. I might as well break the law. Well, why would you do that? What are you, Breaking Bad? I'm going to die of cancer, so I'm going to become a meth dealer. I mean, come on. So it's and like how many times have you seen somebody drunk get in their car and say, "Dude, I'm fine. I'm not like these other guys. I know how to drive when I'm drunk." Right? How many times have you heard that? You know how many friends I've had killed in the past because of drunk driving? "Oh, I'm fine. I've only had 2 beers." Okay, so let's say you are, but you still have an accident. They're still going to breathalyze you. They're still going to get you for a DUI, even if the accident is not your fault. Just like if a car hits you while crossing the road, probably the driver's fault, but if you didn't look before crossing, you still could have prevented it. Right. Yeah, pedestrians have the right of way. Well, that's all fine and dandy, and you could say that at the funeral. You can like, "Steve, he was a good dude, and he had the right of way." Come on now. "I'm not a good dude, and yes, I had the right of way, but doesn't keep me from being dead." Right? So I'm just putting that out there. And I'm sure you guys I'm gonna go see what Steve's saying about the 123 low board. And then here I am giving a lecture on YouTube and trucking. My headstone will read, "Hey, I had the right of way," right? Right? So I'm just putting that out there because I am the safety manager at Like Trucking. And I like to think that we don't have drivers that sit there and say driving, listening, because that's asinine. Let's announce to the whole world that you're driving and you just texted a sentence. And here's the other thing to think about. This is I know somebody that got caught texting and driving because there was a black SUV next to him that he didn't realize was a cop. You know why? Because there's a lot in Indiana. I've seen Mustang GTs be undercover cop cars, plane wrappers. So if you're just looking for the lights on top of the vehicle, guess what? Or the antennas, guess what? They've got you fooled. In fact, Tennessee, they'll actually get in trucks or charter buses to catch truck drivers texting and driving. So why even put that? You know, if I have 100 people in my live feed and only 10 people are chatting, that's good news to me, right? Because I know that especially in the middle of the day, there ain't no 100 people watching me that you know they're going to text, right? Anyone else besides anyone else besides me have a check engine light come on just for ambient air temperature sensor? Yeah, you can't make that up. Okay, Buck Brown, pay attention here. That little nipple knob on the bottom of your mirror, that's your ambient air temperature sensor. If that goes bad, that puts the truck out of balance when it comes to what's going on in the engine. I know a couple of people that went bad and they didn't take care of it because they thought it was something just to tell you the temperature. And no, it affects the rest of the sensors. So I would definitely get that changed out. If I wouldn't do a random YouTube rant as a safety video for the company, I would just do it personally. So I might cut this up though. It's on StreamYard. I might cut it up and put it, separate since we've literally taken a different direction with this. I've also seen plain Jane Ram pickup trucks used as unmarked police vehicles. Yes, I've seen F-150s as well. So, and then you never know. You might tick off a driver. This happens at Schneider all the time and Landstar. Landstar drivers will turn each other in if they see them on the side of the road without their triangles, trying to get rid of the competition. There's a story they told me in orientation at Landstar that one driver pulled over, did not have his triangles out. So another driver, Landstar driver, pulled over to take pictures of the other truck and send it to safety. And then Landstar safety goes, "Well, where was your truck parked?" He's like, did you have your triangles out? They both got fired. You can't make this up. That is a true story. And Schneider guys will tell on each other for the headsets all the time. You know why? Because people are a-holes. They don't like you. You're the competition. They want to take you out. They want to watch the world burn. And so any chance that you can give them to get in trouble, they will. Hell, at this point, if you look at some of the things that Iowa DOT caught during the blitz, you'd be scared just to be next to a semi truck. I put it on my community page. Right. That still doesn't make it right to live stream and drive at the same time. There's a lot of crap out there. A lot. Once had a colleague years ago that put a small Christmas tree on his dashboard, lights and all. He didn't get past the security gate. He made some dumb comments and he got fired the next day. Yeah. I there's been I once watched a Snyder driver pull into the gate with this DVD player on the dash playing something. Really? That really happened. I saw it. And I heard you need to you need to back up and come in and see us. Here's your plane ticket. Get the hell out. Or no, I'm sorry, bus ticket. I just picked one up. Fun fact: PACCAR isn't making them for 17 and older trucks anymore. Wow, that's bad news for me. It's those type of rules that make me glad I have my own authority. Wow, DVD player. Yeah, I know that's ancient, right? That's so 2003, dude, right? So, but yeah, DVD player. Like that's just people don't think, man. People don't think. They just want the DVD to skip. Yeah, I don't see how you could watch DVD player going down the road because of all the bumps. Especially if you're in Michigan, you're not watching DVDs going down the road. Yeah, not to mention it was $171. Well, yeah, it's a PACCAR product, right? But that's interesting. So that means I'd have to go to probably a junkyard to get one. Where someone rolled the truck on the right side, and I can grab that left mirror, right? Mirror assembly. So, well, that sucks. I should just sell the truck and give up. So, or not give up, but just sell the truck for some profit. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody being in here. I'm sorry for the late live feed, but there was some miscommunication and my kid's graduating tomorrow, so I'm pretty proud of that. I'm also proud of all three of my kids went to the same high school that I did. So, because we've been basically living in the same place for a while. So, anyways, Carnivore, I'm gonna probably call you here in a little bit, and we'll talk. All right. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Thanks for the super chats, Fate. Thanks for the memberships. Everybody, check out Carnivore Trucker. Check out CDN's channel. Check out T-Bone's channel. Check out anybody's got a channel in here. I'm sure there's a few. Check them out. Hang out. Give them some support. Look for an interview with Carnivore Trucker. It won't be at our normal 7:00 time. It might be tomorrow night. I don't know. I still need to get together with them. And then look for some cut up videos from my live feeds coming. And then look for some members only stuff. If you're a member, I appreciate every one of you. And let's be safe out there. So with that being said, strength for today. Hope for tomorrow. Aggression turns to screws, right? Let's be safe because the cards are stacked against you. So you got to be 100% for you later.